just flabbergasted and I'm exhausted.
And she goes, "Hi, how are you?" And I'm like, ma'am, I'm not good.
I just needed to show you guys my perfect Friday night, but something that I did not expect going into a fertility clinic. Maybe that is completely just me, and you can absolutely tell me that that is just me. I just want to start my family. This stress should not be part of that. And good morning, everybody. It is Dingle here, and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing super duper well. Today was a shampoo day, so my hair is just super fluffy. I wish that I could tell you all that I am doing super duper well, and I wanted to come on here and start the vlog when everything was figured out, but unfortunately it is not figured out by now. And since we're kind of on a live update type of situation now, because we are live into our third IUI cycle, you guys get to see all of this. I don't even know where to begin. I think overall, and I've expressed this overall before, but something that I did not expect going into a fertility clinic was stress, more than trying to conceive and the ups and downs that come with that, more than just that in general, the stress coming from the administration side of things. My anxiety has never been higher than when it has come to administration sorts of things, such as insurance or approval from my clinic to move forward with treatments and such things like that. I would say the trying to conceive part for me is less anxiety inducing than the stupid little administration parts. So this is where we are at. Where do I even start? So you guys know that my third IUI was canceled. My clinic needs approval from my insurance to move forward with a treatment cycle, which is an IUI, IVF, whatever it is, just the start of a treatment cycle. They need approval from insurance before we move forward. And my insurance likes to take their sweet ass time getting them their approval that they need. So we've learned to submit things very far in advance to when I might need them in order to wait for my insurance to approve. And that's worked a few times, but in the off chance it doesn't work, the other option is for us to pay up front the fee to start the treatment cycle. And then afterwards they would run it against the insurance, they would get reimbursed, and then in turn we would get reimbursed. That's just like the gist of it. It feels really good to talk about, by the way. Thank you for listening. So with that information, you guys know that my third IUI was canceled, but that third IUI was approved by my insurance. And since we did not use that IUI, it ended up being canceled before we even used it. I was under the full impression that whenever we're ready to do the third IUI again, we have another one approved that we never used. Like, we've got that approved IUI in the bank to use because we never did the third IUI. Nobody told me anything to think otherwise, and even a few weeks ago, the finance lady, who I do love so much, she's very nice. I even have in writing that she said, hey, if you pay your outstanding balance, which we had like a small outstanding balance on our account, you'll be okay to move forward for the next cycle. And I said, great, I've paid it. And she goes, awesome, you are all set. I've got that in writing. So not only do I know we didn't use the third IUI and I have it in my bank to use, but I've also double confirmed with the finance lady that we are all set to go. So a few weeks later, when my cycle started, I gave them a call. My nurse instructed me to start Clomid on certain days, and she was just waiting to hear from finance to make sure that I'm all set to go. Me knowing that finance told me I was all set to go, I was like, oh, she just needs like the okay and then we'll be all set and ready to jet. That was on Tuesday. I got the go ahead to start Clomid on Tuesday with the plan that my first follicle monitoring appointment would be for Monday, this coming Monday. Today is Friday. So this next Monday. There was absolutely no reason in my mind why I wouldn't have approval to move forward, especially since my nurse said, yep, go ahead and start Clomid. I just have to double check with the finance lady. I was like, sweet. So that was Tuesday. I don't get a call at all on Wednesday. So Wednesday night, I realized I didn't get a call. So I kind of grow concerned. So I call on Thursday and also forward the email from the finance lady that says I'm all set, just in case that helps at all. I'm like, there's no reason she can see that and then say I'm still not okay to go. And the key here is she won't schedule a follicle monitoring appointment until she gets the okay from the finance lady. However, she was okay with telling me to start Clomid even without that confirmation. It's very bizarre. So yesterday comes and goes and I don't hear anything besides that she's still waiting approval from finance. I'm like, there is something going on here. So I last night wrote an email to the finance lady and I popped back up her previous approval in my inbox. Basically in a really nice way asked, what gives? Can you please tell my nurse that I am set to go? I need a follicle monitoring appointment. And I also write a note to my nurse expressing my concern. I was getting very nervous. I literally said this in my email, I cannot go through a 4th round of Clomid for me to not go through with an IUI again. That is not an option. And I said, I hope you understand. And then I said, I will be anxiously sitting by my phone tomorrow waiting for your phone call. I think something to note here, if you guys aren't caught up, is that the reason why my 3rd IUI cycle was canceled was because my body ovulated early. So the plan for this IUI cycle, knowing that that happened last time, was to start monitoring my follicles on cycle day 8. They usually don't do it until cycle day 10, which worked in the past for me, but with this all messed up schedule, we wanted to start monitoring on cycle day 8 and my nurse agreed. So cycle day 8 is Monday. That is why Monday is really important to me, okay? So last night I'm in tears. It was a rough 24 hours. My mind I'm like literally about to cry thinking about it because it's not over yet. It's not over. My mind was just spinning in circles because I was so confused why I wasn't good to go. It's not like we weren't paying anything. We paid everything on time. And also got insurance's approval to move forward with a 3rd IUI cycle, and no one was telling me what the specific reason was. I felt like there was a lack in communication with that from all different parties. And my nurse has not called me back. She's emailed saying she's still waiting for approval, but she just won't call me back. So I'm in tears. I don't sleep. I think I slept like 3 hours last night or so. No joke, 3 hours or so. I'm exhausted. I cried waking up this morning because I was just so incredibly anxious. If you've ever felt deep anxiety, you know the feeling. I am so incredibly anxious. And I wake up and my finance lady, my dear finance lady, is the first one to respond before office hours, by the way. It's like 8 something. And if you know me, that's so bizarre that I was up that early. That's how you know something was wrong. So she starts replying to my emails at like 8, let's say it's like 8:45, 8:30, 8:45. And she just writes, that 3rd IUI approval expired. We're waiting on the reapproval for another one, basically a new one. Who was gonna tell me? Who was gonna tell me that that one expired? And that's why we had to wait for approval. If I had known that that was the reason why things were kind of being held up at the beginning of the week, I would have known to say, hey, my insurance won't get back to you in time for me to get the monitoring appointment on Monday. Let me pay up front. But the problem is now it's Friday, the day before the weekend. My nurse does not work on weekends. So we needed to get this scheduled today or else I won't be able to get in touch with her this weekend at all. And I need an appointment for Monday morning. I need a monitoring appointment for Monday. I can't get to Monday and not have an appointment, okay? So there's this time crunch now that's going on that could have been avoided if I just knew why things were kind of held up. And I would have paid up front at the beginning of the week in order to move things along, knowing my insurance, again, would not get back to us by this week. There's no way. So at this point, I write back to her, I said, I am midway through Clomid and I need a monitoring appointment on Monday. Where do I have to pay up front in order to make that happen? Thank you so much. And she sends back a link with the amount that I pay. She's so nice, like literally like just the most helpful, like right away sends me where I need to pay and everything like that. Mind you, this is still all before office hours. And I even had a question as to why the amount was more than another previous time that we had paid up front for an IUI. And she gave me a phone call to just simply explain why. And it was a totally reasonable explanation. We added more monitoring to this cycle, so that's why I was more upfront, which did make sense. And she was so, like, she's just so sweet. So I get my answer right away. I pay right away, and she says, email me the receipt once you've paid and you'll be all set. And I'm like, yes, okay, sounds good. I email her the receipt and I even make sure to CC my nurse. And on that email, the finance department responds right away that I am all set. I'm all set to go. But the only problem, I think, is that she didn't reply all, so my nurse didn't immediately see that. But I also think there's a system where the finance department has to go in and check me green for the cycle or something. So she wrote that in email that I'm all set. Then around kind of the same-ish time, maybe 15 minutes later, I get my first reply from the morning from my nurse via email saying that she's just waiting for the finance department to give her the green light, and then she'll call me to schedule. I have the green light. I paid a big chunk of change this morning in order to move forward with a procedure that I did not know expired. I had no indication that this thing was expiring. I didn't know I needed another approval for an IUI cycle that was previously approved but canceled. And because I didn't know that until too late in the game, I prepaid. Not the most ideal situation, but I did it. And you're still saying you need the green light from finance lady, but I forwarded you the green light she gave me, and now it's 2:30 on a Friday and I don't have a phone call, and I haven't been able to do anything all day because I am so nervous. I just don't understand why there's so much stressful things surrounding the administration part of everything, when any stress should really be coming from trying to grow your family. You know, just tough, man. It's just tough. And I keep running into this question in my head, like, what if I never get a call from my nurse before she leaves for the weekend saying I'm good to go, when I know I'm good to go? I don't know what's going on, and I just feel like there's this really big black hole over there in clinic land that I just don't know how it works. So I'm running around trying to make sure everyone knows what's going on, but it's because I don't know if they know what's going on, because no one will talk, it feels like, and no one will talk to me about who said what or whatever, what they need me to do, or even tell me what my options were. Nobody said, hey, since you need this on Monday, here are your options. Like, if I didn't follow back up on Thursday, what would have happened? Would we have gone into the weekend not being able to contact my nurse because she's not available during the weekend, and then miss out on a monitoring appointment on Monday when I ovulated early last time? Like, what would have happened if I didn't run down all of these details and actually figure out what the problem was? I'm just flabbergasted and I'm exhausted. I'm flabbergasted and exhausted, mainly because I didn't sleep, but I'm mentally drained from trying to understand what's going on. I just want a baby. I just want to start my family. This stress should not be part of that. I'll keep you updated if I get that phone call. Please, fingers crossed. You're seeing this in the future, but fingers crossed for me.
Hello friends, we're in the car. Honestly, I didn't expect at a certain point to get a phone call, so I didn't bring my camera. But since I last talked to you, it was just a whirlwind. Jack and I made a plan. Jack's here, by the way.
Hey guys.
Jack and I made a plan to, if we hadn't heard anything via email or a phone call by like 3:30, because most days they'll call by 3:30. That's kind of like the pattern we see. That we'll send an email basically saying, I'm really nervous, can you please call me before you're off for the weekend, because I'm terrified that I won't be able to get monitored and will miss ovulation. That was worst case scenario. So I sent that email at like 3:35. I literally gave it 5 extra minutes and did not hear anything. 4 o'clock comes around, it's time to get dressed and go to the gym. Didn't hear anything, and we are basically pulling up into, like, going past the clinic. Actually, we're basically driving past the clinic, and I almost wanted to go in there and like ask if I could just schedule an appointment with someone there. She calls me on the way to the gym and she goes, hi, how are you? And I'm like, ma'am, I'm not good. I'm not good. I like blacked out when talking to her because she was so nonchalant. She was like, how are you doing today? And I'm like, you and I didn't say this, but in my mind, I'm like, you and I have clearly had a very different 24 hours and you are not aware of what I was doing. What on earth is going on? I said, I'm better now that you called. And she was like, oh my gosh, wait, what are you talking about? And she just did not no, like she probably had not caught up on her email. And so I just started spewing, like I wasn't mean or anything. Did I sound mean on the phone? You don't think so? Okay. But I just start spewing, like, basically this is what happened, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to be approved going into Monday. Like, I was very nervous and stuff. And she goes, I am so sorry that you went through that. I'm so sorry that this has caused you unneeded stress. Like, she was very, very sweet. And it really did make up for it, because I'm still coming down from that stress. I can't tell you guys how stressed I was. You guys can see how stressed I was. The last thing, I don't think I expressed this before, but because Clomid doesn't make me feel the best in all of the reasons I said in the last vlog, that would suck so bad if we couldn't move forward or we missed our opportunity for an IUI again, but I still was on Clomid. Like, Clomid clearly doesn't work for us. Not that it can't work, but it just has not worked for us solely in the past. And I would hate to waste another cycle of taking Clomid and then not being able to get the IUI. I would feel very defeated. I would feel very, very defeated if that were the case. So that's why there was just so much weight on getting this appointment when I didn't know that there was a finance issue in general. That happened, but we are all set. We have a monitoring appointment on Monday, which you guys will see on Wednesday. But in the meantime, Jack and I just got out of the gym, and he was mentioning my favorite beer. He bought me OJ last night when everything was kind of going down, and he bought me like a care package. He got my favorite beer. What else? Oh, flowers.
We got you flowers and caramel boom chicka pop and the fudge covered Nutter Butters.
Oh my gosh, the cookies. Yeah, I got off the stream last night after getting that email that I wasn't approved financial wise, and I was very confused. And Jack was really angry too, and he knew how stressed I probably was. So on his way back from the gym, he got a package of goodies.
Oh yeah.
It made me really want to get, this is so random, but I want a Yeti koozie. Jack has this Yeti koozie, we both do, from Ilia one year, that do small cans like soda. But my beer, my craft beer, is always a tall one, and I never knew that Yeti like carried anything for those. I just assumed, but they do. They do carry big ones. So
we're gonna go snacks.
In order to enjoy my beer tonight, to relax and just go into the weekend stress-free, I really needed that for a tall beer. So let's go get that.
Now I am back home, and every time I catch a glimpse of myself in the viewfinder, the bags under my eyes are just how exhausted my face looks. That's how I feel right now. But oh my gosh, if I could have seen myself right now a few hours ago when I was just completely beyond stress, would I be laughing? I probably wouldn't be laughing. I'm laughing now though. But now it is Friday evening, and I just needed to show you guys my perfect Friday night right now. It is a tall one. This is the OJ from Lone Pine in my new fancy cooler thing. I'm so excited. It fits so good. I've got my laptop here for laptop-y things. Anything I want to look up, maybe window shop. I'm already like planning out some summer outfits. Like, forget spring. Spring is cool and all, but like I feel like I shop for warm weather and cold weather. I can't get with all of the seasons, you know? I've got YouTube on. This is Tara Michelle. I absolutely love her channel, and she just sold her house in LA and she's moving into an LA apartment instead. So I'm excited to catch up on her moving vlogs because that's a vibe. I've got my current read right here, which I don't think I've talked about, but this I have seen on Book Talk several times as a book that they didn't expect to love as much as they did. So I'm only about this much through, but it grabbed me right away and I really like that. And then I also am toying with the idea of playing The Sims tonight, but I was saying to Jack at Texas Roadhouse that playing The Sims, like playing video games for me, I have to kind of know I'm doing that earlier on in the evening, if that makes sense, because it's such a commitment. Like I can't just sit down and play for like a couple hours. And also, especially at the end of the week when my eyes are a little bit strained from all the screens, I just don't want a screen like right in my face, you know, to play video games. I don't know, weird quirks. I'm just strange. Kind of related to this though, with all of the plethora of things, that's not English, but you guys know what I'm saying, of things that are available for me to do or to entertain myself. I was saying this on my TikTok recently, but I kind of miss the days when there wasn't as many options for entertainment or like things to do in your leisure time. It's almost like with all of these options that we have and an increasing amount of options to relax or entertain ourselves with, it actually becomes less relaxing or almost like stressful to choose kind of which one to do. That sounds so incredibly first world problem because it totally is. But for example, I remember when I was in middle school or high school and I got a new video game like every once in a while because you had to physically go to the store and get the video game and take it home. There wasn't like a plethora of video games available online to download. I remember my jam was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 on the PlayStation 2. And I just remember all day at school thinking about how excited I was to just go home and play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. But now when I sit down as an adult on a Friday night where I'm just relaxing, there are so many options. Like, oh, do I want to play The Sims? Well, I guess I don't really want to play The Sims because, you know, my eyes are a little strained, but also it's a little too late. Well, there's YouTube videos to watch. I could also scroll on TikTok for hours, but I really also kind of want to read my book. And then, oh, if I don't want any of the physical books I have a Kindle that has all of these other books that you can get. There's just maybe that is completely just me, and you can absolutely tell me that that is just me, but the more options I have, the less enjoyable it is almost to like choose one and go with it, because then I'm like second guessing my choice. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy myself regardless, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.